It's picked, and the party is on in Winston-Salem. Surrounding him as this court storming is in full effect.
Let's talk about it. One of the big stories of the day, big story of the weekend. Court storming. It's the guru, Trey Crosby III.
Chris King.
And let's get into it, man. It's Cream City crossover. We're talking a little college basketball here. Duke big man Kyle Filipowski suffered an apparent injury after the Wake Forest fans stormed the court following the Wake Forest Demon Deacons 83-79 home victory over the number 8 Blue Devils on Saturday. Video showed Filipowski walking off the court between the three-point line and the mid-court logo. A throng of fans then stormed the floor from behind the left side of the court, and Filipowski got caught in that mass of people. One Wake Forest fan appeared to briefly make contact with Filipowski before a second fan made more direct contact with his legs, causing the big man to stumble. Duke players and staff members then rushed to help Filipowski off of the floor. And Chris, I mean, this is a debate and a discussion that's been talked about over and over. Court storming. Do we like it? Do we not like it? What is the protocol for it? I mean, you see what happened in Winston-Salem, North Carolina today. It was definitely the protocol was there for it. You beat the number 8 team. You're one of the first 4 teams out of the NCAA tournament. This puts you into March Madness probably as of today if you're a Wake Forest Demon Deacon fan. Unfortunate that Filipowski got caught up in this. Hopefully he's not seriously injured. I'll say this, though. And again, I'm not blaming the Wake Forest. I'm not blaming the Duke players at all. But you have to be situationally aware as well. The last play happens. You have to know that crowd was hot. Like they were ready to rush the floor. They wanted. You could tell they were fired up all day long. And I mean, how much of an onus is it for you to make sure you get off the floor? Now, I agree they didn't give a lot of time to do that. The Wake Forest fans were all over it pretty quickly. But, I mean, he's walking through there like he's just, like he's strolling the park. And I don't know. So you got to try to get off the floor at least. But, what do you feel about court storming? Is it appropriate? We saw what happened with Caitlin Clark, and I think Caitlin Clark was flopping. And we'll see if Kyle Filipowski, we'll see. Because some of this is, I mean, let's be honest. And if he's seriously injured, obviously, I don't mean to make light of it. But, guys get their feelings hurt. They lose a basketball game. You want to win. And sometimes, you kind of make a big deal out of things that probably aren't a big deal. So we'll see if he misses games because of it. If he doesn't, he probably embellished it just a little bit. But I don't know until that all comes out. What do you think, Chris?
I'm all for it. I think this is – I think me personally, I think this is what makes college basketball so special. You won't find this in any other sport outside of, college football probably. But that's obviously a 100-yard field, so you got some space there to get in, get out. And – yeah, I think that, like you hit it on the head. You said that they need to get out of there, and I think that we can be done with the handshake line, first of all, that way that they're getting towards their locker room and getting out of there. But also just in general, like, they just got to go. And, we've seen guys talk about this. Matt Painter, Purdue's head coach, who said, yeah, his team hasn't lost a game at home, and every game that they've lost has been a court storm. Well, you got to go into these games preparing for it. Obviously, you're not preparing to lose, but it's got to be in the back of your mind that, hey, we can get seriously injured here. And, I'm not going to fault the fans. That's a huge win, top 10 win that can propel you into the NCAA tournament, just their second quad one win of the season. So, yeah, I'm not going to necessarily blame the players, but I think that there needs to be some awareness for them to just get out.
How much of this, though, is on Wake Forest and their security or any stadium security, arena security, in making sure that you don't allow fans onto the court? And I ask you this. I know you say you're all for it. You're with it. If he is seriously injured, I mean, with all the discussion about court storming, have we seen – could this be the end of court storming in general if this is an actual injury to Kyle Filipowski?
I don't think so because, look – I mean, maybe you have an idea, but I don't know how you would solve this. Like, what kind of punishments, what could you do to prevent them from storming the court? You only got so much security.
Well, I'll say this. That does not happen in NBA arenas. Now, maybe because, not as many young folks, crowds are more sophisticated. But if you look at games like back in the day in the 70s and the 80s, MLB World Series wins, and in the Super Bowl, you saw people would get onto the field. Into the field of play. I think it also happened in the NBA as well. and they were able to effectively stop that.
Maybe
so,
rope it off, maybe something like that.
Yes,
rope it off right away. That could be a remedy for it. But ultimately, like, these are college kids. These are 18 to 21 to 22-year-olds who have the alcohol flowing. Now that's Stella Rosa. They're pre-gaming. They're going during the game, and it's going to be hard for anybody to fix that, any security team, regardless, just because it is such a highly anticipated matchup in a game that was back and forth all game. The tension was high. So if there is a way to fix it, then I guess I would be for it, but I just can't see it. I don't know how you would do it. There would have to be some punishment involved, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and I saw somebody say that, can you wait 30 seconds and let the other team get off the floor? And I'm like, does that kill? I feel like that kills the steam and the momentum of a court storm if it's a controlled storm. Like, that's not the same thing. If I gotta wait 30 seconds to 45 seconds for the other team to get off the floor, like, that takes away the fun of it. But anyway, a good win for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Again, a good lesson, a good experience for the Duke Blue Devils. That was a tough environment to play in, and Wake Forest has a strong competitive basketball team. Any final words on CourtStorm and Wake Forest? How this could affect Duke's season moving forward?
Well, yeah, Kyle Filipowski is really the one that keeps their train running, the Duke Blue Devils. I mean, they have a ton of young guards who can score it, and then Jeremy Roach is an experienced guard, but the 7-foot sophomore is really the guy that they lean on, and a guy who they look for to carry that team. And I think that if there is a serious injury there, then there is definitely some serious conversations that need to be had about court storming. But like I said, I'm all for it. I love it. This is what makes college basketball so special. This is what's got Trey Crosby on college basketball on a Saturday. Yeah. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's all done in the NFL and football. So yeah, you got me watching college basketball on Saturday. And again, I was thoroughly entertained. Now on to my guy Armando Bacot. As I'm going to see if he get his points, rebounds, assists. All right, man, that was fun, and again, enjoyed it. Big win for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons out in Winston-Salem. From the Guru, Trey Crosby III.
Chris King.
Hey, man, this is the Cream City crossover. We do it all. NBA, Bucks, college basketball. We got it all right here at the Cream City crossover. Appreciate to see all you next time.